has announced a $5 a month Xbox One subscription program, which would give you unlimited access to games such as Battlefield 4, FIFA 14, Madden NFL 25, and Peggle 2, all games that I am excited about personally. No. And also, it has been lambasted a little bit by Sony, which, if you'll notice, this service is not on PS4. Sony calling it a bad value. Not what PlayStation Plus users might want, which is a little bit like the pot calling the kettle black, in my opinion, if you look at PS Now.
I don't see the EA thing being all that terrible.
Yeah, I don't think it is terrible.
Okay, good. Then we're on the same page.
Those aren't games that I really want.
Right.
But
you
sure.
don't give a shit about this.
Nope.
Fine. But people do.
But
and
yeah,
I think people would.
We've done stories before that I didn't give a shit about, but I was sure someone else would give a shit about.
Now, just having access to 5 to 10 games and like 8 of them are sports games, like maybe that's not worth the $5 a month. But if EA expands this into like, they have an enormous library. So if they put a lot of games on here, well then this is the Netflix for EA games, and that sounds stellar.
Well, the fascinating part is that with this service, you would get trial versions of the EA titles up to 5 days before launch, and that includes the sports games, but also Dragon Age Inquisition, which I do want to play.
I never really got the appeal of playing games before launch. That's like
Because
the people that
it's like opening Christmas presents early.
Like at midnight to be the first one to get to a certain rank in Halo or whatever. Like I buy games weeks and months, years after they come out. So that's
I've totally
wait for that discount.
Been to midnight releases for games, and I wanted all of the things that came with like getting it the day of, and I stayed up all night playing. And it's fun. It's fun for me. I have a job too. We have almost the same job.
So let's get into why Sony doesn't have this service and why they trashed it. It's because they already have their own version of it.
Kind of.
So initially we were talking about the PS Now, which is like a subscription service for right now PS3 games, but maybe in the future PS2 and PS1 that you can play on all sorts of devices.
Yeah. Well, it's got that cool cloud streaming factor.
Yeah, it's a subscription game streaming service.
I'm sure it will probably get better. I was a part of the beta for the PlayStation Now, and I found the prices to be exorbitant. Oftentimes, the price for a monthly rental will be exactly as much as buying the game itself. A lot of the time, the 4-hour rental option is terrible, an awful deal I would not do unless I were extremely desperate for that game for some reason.
I mean, the PS Now service only becomes financially viable when you get the maximum, like 90-day thing, which makes it about $5 a month, which is about the same as Xbox Gold. Yeah, but you're already paying for PS4 online support, so now you're up to like $10 a month for online.
Oh, do you mean
PS
for
PlayStation
Plus?
No. Just online capability. And you say that was not free on the PS4
That
now?
comes with PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus. Okay,
Yes.
so now you're paying for PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, which I guess is a bit much.
Yeah, well, considering we weren't paying for PlayStation Plus. Well, no, we were playing for online. Sorry, we had free online play before, but PlayStation Plus was an add-on service. I have PlayStation Plus now. I also have Xbox Live Gold.
PlayStation Plus
They're both great. I like them both.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would really be interested in EA Access or PS Now so much.
Well, see, that's what Sony's saying. Is they're saying we're already asking for 5 and then another 5,
Listen,
and then if we make
are already ridiculous.
customers ask for another 5, now it looks like we're nickel and diming them for
kind
stuff.
of are though.
Yeah, but they don't want
that.
that. Yeah.
I mean, here it says DLCs would be sold separately, but at a 10% discount, which
and then you would keep them even if your
fine.
subscription lapses.
Well, why would I keep a DLC if I don't have the game that it works with? Like, who cares?
Well, it's just like if you're charging extra for something, that needs to be yours. I get that.
Okay, so that's if I go buy the game myself. Why don't I just go buy the game myself to begin with?
I think they're under the impression that you're just going to keep paying for it in perpetuity.
No. What do you think?
I like owning stuff.
I do too.
Honestly, this is what it all comes down to me. I like owning stuff. It's a similar thing where in comics right now, there are online libraries like Comixology, and you're not actually paying to get a digital copy of the comic. You're paying to access the comic.
That's been my hesitation with Comixology, to be honest.
And there's a lot of things to like about Comixology. There are a lot of things to criticize. And one of the things for me personally, I like to own the comic. And when I know that I might not be able to read it because the server's down or because I don't have a good internet connection, it's one of those things where, as privileged as it sounds, it's annoying to me.
Well, I mean, to be fair, with PlayStation Now, you would definitely need an always-on internet connection to access it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about EA. It doesn't
And
seem
a
like you
good
would
connection
need it.
with low
Well,
latency.
see,
That's the problem.
This is the bigger issue. Like, how many of us really have a good connection these days
I have
in our
a fair
budgets?
connection.
Yeah. I live in an apartment building where it can be a fair connection. On a cold night, it might be a good connection, and then 30 minutes later, 10 other people are putting on their Wi-Fi networks. And
I don't want this to devolve into a we hate Comcast and Time Warner and that the system is
Wasn't
corrupt
going
conversation
that
too.
way,
But I'm saying with our limitations of internet and access of internet, good internet for everyone,
Right.
a service like this might not be a good idea.
Well, maybe if it were less expensive for now, and then when we get up to those upgraded speeds later on, I assume. Maybe then, but for now I feel like it's just not a good value for what I have and what it is. Maybe you feel different. What do you think of EA Access and PlayStation Now? Are those subscription services things that you would find good use of, or do you feel you'd maybe rather rent the traditional way or own? Let us know what you think below in the comments, and please subscribe.